Here on Tick Bite NC, we talk a little bit about hunting. So I'm going to tell you a true story about a hunting trip I went on. I think it was in 2021, might have been 2022. I call it a corn pile story. I usually hunt with dogs, but on this day, my son-in-law and I went still hunting. We climbed a couple of trees and we waited for the deer to come in. And on top of that, it was opening day of deer season. Very unusual for me. I'm normally in the woods with my cousins, and we've got 30 or 40 dogs, and we're running on 10,000 acres. It is very different. So on this day, my son-in-law and I, we went down near the river to a little property he has, and we climbed a couple of trees. We had pretty good coverage of the food plot, and it was an opening day, the morning where the world felt brand new. My son-in-law were out there before day, two military veterans treating the hunt like it was a mission. We walked into the woods holding our guns at the ready. It reminded me of my military service. But that kind of cold that morning was the kind that cut through layers and settles on your bones. The kind that wakes you up better than any pot of coffee ever would. We got to our spot and waited. It was dark. The woods were still holding their breath. And then right before sunrise, the air shifted, sharp and brittle, and the world came alive. You could hear the crunch of frost under the hooves before you saw anything. A whole herd of deer started easing through the trees, quiet, careful, like ghosts moving in the fog. We waited calm and steady. 2 clean shots, 2 does down. We had meat for the freezer. And then came that sacred silence that always follows a good hunt. A quiet so deep that it almost hums. But that peace did not last long. Out of nowhere came this chicken. And I don't mean a farm chicken or some lost hen from a neighbor's coop. I'm talking a wild chicken. This thing came strutting out of the brush like it paid the property taxes. It was clucking and flapping and scratching leaves, making more noise than a bulldozer in a gravel pit. I sat there staring in disbelief. I expected the deer to run off. The deer didn't pay that chicken one bit of mind. They stood frozen, watching that bird raise chaos like it was morning entertainment. The chicken strutted right around through the middle of everything, feathers pluffed, tail high, like it was the boss of the woods. When it finally wandered off, me and my son-in-law looked at each other and just started laughing. You couldn't have scripted anything any better if you tried. And that's hunting. It's not about the harvest. It's about the moments that the woods give you. The ones you don't plan for. The ones that make you laugh until your sides hurt. That morning the woods woke up, and so did we. Cold air, good company, 2 deer in the freezer, and 1 wild chicken that stole the show. That's the kind of morning you cannot forget. So this was the corn pile story version of Campfire for Stories with Sasquatch. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for being here.